Welcome back. Now we're shifting our focus to another part of national life, and we're going to focus now on education. And are you surprised that someone did some studies recently and ranked universities the world over, and a single Nigerian university did not appear on the list until he had counted up to over 1,600. Pause. Once upon a time, one of Nigeria's universities had the best library in the whole of Africa. A number of Nigerian universities featured in the top 500 in the world. Now we don't even feature till about 2,000, 3,000 down the line. What is going on? The Vice Chancellor at the Lagos State University, Professor John Oladapo Obafunwa, is with us this morning to look at our focus on education. Good morning, Professor.
Good morning, Anne.
I see that your face changed when I read those things. These are things that you know very well, and I can see the pain on your face, Professor. What is going on? We used to rank among the best in the world.
Well, the truth of the matter is that there's so many factors involved in this issue of ranking. It goes beyond just the university itself, political considerations. But having said that, we have issues of infrastructure, we have issues of the academic staff, the issues of the web. We are a bit disadvantaged because of the fact that we don't have so much information out there with regards to our universities. We have the problem also of the attitude of the students, the general society, the government. There are so many issues that we have to contend with. But I'm generally an optimist, and even though we're faced with some of these problems at this point in time, I believe that eventually we'll cross the bridge. A lot has been said, particularly about the Lagos State University, the position it holds. But again, I can say that even within our immediate environment, a number of our programs we've been able to improve upon them. I know that we're forced to be reckoned with as far as the medical school is concerned. I can say the same thing about our law faculty. At some point in time, Lasso Law was one of the best, if not the best, in the country. There was a downward trend at some point, but I can assure you again that we're beginning to
steer the ship right,
to pick up.
Okay. Now, Prof, I understand that the problem doesn't start at the university, because you're not going to teach students basic English at university level. You're not going to teach them basic mathematics at university level. What is the quality of students coming into the university? And I have stats here that say that in the school certificate exams of November, December 2012, 62.03% of the students failed, and only 37% or 150,000 out of 396 even obtained the 5 credits required of them to get admission into university. So when we're getting those kinds of results, what is the quality of those being churned out and fed into the universities?
Very good observation. There's no doubt that the quality of those who are seeking admission to the university has been very low. I've seen this not just at that level, but also at the level of those within the programs themselves. Perhaps we need to be more conservative in our approach to things, and that goes back even to the homes. Parents to pay attention to what kids are doing.
The parents are busy hustling, Professor.
Yeah. When I was growing up, I know that I recall my parents were particular about what I had to do. I dared not misbehave in school because I knew my teacher was going to tell my mother at the Sunday school, I was in church, and I was going to go through another set of punishment. I won't get into details of the punishment that I had. So I knew I had to do what I had to do. Nowadays, you find a situation where the teacher tries to chastise the student, and the parents will come to school and start complaining about it.
Mm-hmm.
But having said that, there's also the issue of the teachers themselves. The kind of teachers that we had to go through at that time, they were very dedicated. There were incentives. They made sure that we did what we had to do. Nowadays, the average teacher is probably hustling, like you said, wanted to sell one thing or the other. And it's not just at that level. So you're talking to the average student who is coming into the university. That student does not understand what it means to be punctual, what it means to dress properly, what the O-level result is not even too good. And it's not uncommon to find a situation where people come in for post-JAMB exam and the parents themselves are the ones trying to encourage somebody to sit for exams for them. We've made certain discoveries, and I'm an advocate of post-JAMB exams. I've had stories about special centers and the role of parents in.
So when you say advocate of post-JAMB exam, you mean when they finish the JAMB and they're being offered admission, then you do another exam for
That's
them?
correct. That's right. We made a lot of discoveries at the last post-JAMB exams that we conducted. People wanting to sit for exams for some other people. It's a shame. At the end of the day,
Isn't that supposed to be criminal?
it's a criminal thing. It's a criminal thing. And we, the ones that we apprehended, we handed them over to the police. Of course, we cannot do more than that.
Probably walking.
Now, they come into the university, the level of spoken English is appalling, even amongst so-called graduates. I've had to interact with some of them, and it cuts across board, across professions. So it's a shame, but perhaps we need to go back to that level and pay more attention, and for parents to also make significant input into this. It's not just the teachers alone, and it's not surprising that some parents will want to insist on sending their kids to private schools, despite the amount of money involved in doing this.
Is there a marked difference between students who have come in from private schools and those who have come in from public schools?
There appears to be, but that's not to say that those that went to other schools are not doing well. You encounter some of them that are very brilliant, but when you put them side by side and you want to take an average, you discover that those who went to private schools are probably doing a lot better.
Sure. Now, Professor, it's instructive that you mention the English language, because that is the language of instruction. So it becomes very important. But these days, you can hardly find graduates who can speak or write good English. Why do you think this is so, and what are we going to do about it? If you don't understand English, whether it's engineering you're reading, whether it's law you're reading, it's medicine, you are going to be instructed. The teacher is going to teach you in that language. So if you don't understand what the teacher is saying, how do you hope to pass your exams?
I said earlier on that it cuts across. The average teacher at the lower level is not even speaking good English.
Primary, secondary?
Primary,
That's
secondary.
the teacher, not
That's
even the
teacher,
student.
Not even the student.
Okay.
You come to the university, you listen to the spoken English of some academics and you are amazed. And that's a fact. You encounter, of course my background is medicine and unfortunately I have to make reference to that. You encounter postgrads, resident doctors. The written English, the spoken English is appalling. And I recall attending a session some time ago, and I raised the issue of people not writing exactly what they mean. I even raised the issue of the medical legal implications of not putting on paper exactly what you intended to write. And I recall a professor saying to me, you have to forget all about this idea of people writing good English. What you need is just a general idea for them to communicate.
To use our parlance, idea is need.
I shook my head. It's a shame. Like I said, even at the university level, you encounter these things, and if the teachers themselves cannot communicate properly or do not appreciate the need to communicate properly, you cannot expect anything better from the students.
So if we have to say, let's go back to the basic, where will the basic be? Where do we start from to avoid a complete hemorrhaging of what, I don't even know how to put it. Where do we start from? Let's take it from there.
We'll have to start from the primary education. But unfortunately, the teachers at the primary level would have gone through the university themselves. So perhaps we need to reverse it slightly, so that those who are training them at the university level will ensure that the products coming out are those that they can vouch for, those that are of good quality, so that by the time those individuals go back to the primary level, they'll be able to do the right thing.
What has happened to teachers training in colleges? Does every teacher have to be a graduate?
Maybe not. We still have NC products. They don't have to be graduate. When I was going to secondary school, not all my teachers were graduates, but we're talking about quality NCE graduates.
Yes.
And you couldn't but appreciate them. Some of them even did their degrees while teaching at the secondary school level. But the answer to your question is that we don't have to have graduates. But even when we have the NC teachers, the quality has to be there. And I know that within the state, this has been actively looked upon to improve on the quality but we still have a long way to go, I must admit.
Okay, some people have said that you can't fix a problem if you don't know what that problem is. The problem in education in Nigeria, what would you say it is, and how do we begin to apply solution that you can suggest to it?
It's probably very easy to attribute everything to funding, but I wouldn't do that. We need to have a change in attitude, not just at the level of the home, but also within our tertiary institutions. The people we are churning out, we need to learn to pay more attention. Our teachers need to be less